what's your goal? What's your dream? What's your dream job? Your biggest achievement? The thing you want to do, you want to get better at, the thing you love and want to do the most. Imagine you train for years and years, sacrifice a bunch of time, sweat, blood. You sacrifice everything you have. When you're at the top, you got there. You did it. People come from out of your country just to call you a prostitute. That's bad. That's pretty bad, to be completely honest. But that's also the reality for a lot of geishas in Japan nowadays. And that's also some of the reasons of why there's not even a 10% of geishas that they used to be on the 1900s. Let's talk about them. Their image and preparation to become one. Now, as many of you, when I think of a geisha, I think of a girl with perfect makeup, perfect clothes, which is mysterious but beautiful and inviting to you. This is an image that was brought into me, or the idea was brought by movies, comics, books, and some other media as well. But let's not just imagine, let's take a look and go to Kyoto, more specifically to Gion, when there's this girl called Maiko. Maiko, it's a 17-year-old girl who is training to become a geisha. This training, it's hard. It's 5 to 6 years where you need to learn calligraphy, art, how to dance, how to have a conversation. And I think the thing that they need to perfect the most, it's the ceremonial tea party. And before getting to practice, she has to wake up before the sunrise to get dressed, to get her makeup done, her hair done, before even the first beam of light comes to her dorm. All this for 5 to 6 years altogether. Let's remember, she's 17 years old. She's in her youth. She's in the time of her life that people tend to think is the best for them. All of this because of the love to her culture and traditions. What's a geisha? What's their purpose? Geishas are not sex workers. I know you may think I didn't need to say that because you knew and I knew, we both knew. And yeah, we both knew. But apparently a bunch of people don't. So let me talk about what they are. The term geisha translates to a person of the arts, which is very soothing because their main purpose in the 16 to 1800s, which is the Edo period in which they came to exist as a bunch, they were entertainers. They danced, they painted, they just talk with people sometimes. And again, they serve the ceremonial tea party, which was an important tradition that has been carried until this day today. Whew, that was long. Again, geishas came up on the beginnings on the 1600s, but they became popular on the end of the 1800s, give or take. Most of them are traditionally in places named hanamachis, which means flower towns. In hanamachis or flower towns, there's geisha houses in which they sleep, eat, train, and practice their ways, methods, and basically their lives for those 5 to 6 years until they found a new place or they want to move early. Geishas are pretty much tradition made a person today, and I really admire that. So let's talk about the challenges and the reality of why that tradition is dying little by little today. In the 1920s, a census was brought on which they counted to approximately 80,000 geishas all across Japan. Today, that number has dropped up down to the 1,000 geishas in just Tokyo and Kyoto, which aren't the best places because they're full of tourists. And speaking of tourists, sadly, this is the other reason of why they have been dropping by lots. Tourists have come from all the world to Japan to see places and meet geishas. Some of them are great, good people, take a picture, take a tea, then go. Perfect. 10 out of 10 experience, do it again. But some of them, it's why I had to clarify they aren't sex workers. The media has portrayed geishas in a way that isn't it just wrong but also disrespectful to their culture. Geishas aren't sex workers. Again, you cannot hire them to try and have relations with them. Again, I shouldn't need to say that, but as I've been proven wrong by a bunch of articles and even stories from geishas themselves, it's very common for people to try and pay them to do certain kind of things. But let's not talk about it no more. When did the geisha numbers start to drop? Pretty much after World War II. After that, Japan had an economic crisis as much as other countries as well, and they reinvented themselves. And with that, they reinvented the entertainment as well. Now bars and hostesses became the new thing, and they eclipsed how people saw geishas at the time. Where are people still getting geishas and trying to send geishas? Where do girls grow and be like, oh, I want to be one. I want to be a geisha. To that, I have this image that shows you that pretty much the people are divided between rural country, well, the rural part of the country, and the cities in this one. And then in here, you can basically see the number of geishas on the 1920s and the number of geishas today. I don't think you can see it in the camera because it's too small. So yeah, things aren't the best for geisha population right now. Let's not end in a bad note. Geishas are warriors of their culture. They protect their culture, their traditions. They're basically history standing up and walking. All of that so we as tourists, as people, as humans, can get a glimpse of what Japan used to be before. Sacrificing your youth, your best years, your energy, your mental health, everything that comes with trying to achieve your goal, and specifically becoming a geisha, because you know what's coming. They prepare you for that. The comments, the hate, the pictures. And I think that even after knowing all that, you choose to become one. That's as beautiful as it is strong, sad, and painful. You shouldn't be treated away just because of your goals or your nationality. And I think that's why I'm so interested in geishas, because they're every everything that's right on keeping a tradition alive.